Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore. Welcome to Community America Ballpark as we conclude or continue, however you want to say it, the suspended game from last night. As we're just underway here in the bottom of the fourth inning, it's Jake Blackwood, Anthony Gallis, Starlin Rodriguez. I'm trying to get you caught up here momentarily as Kansas City trails this game 3-2, and Blackwood swings and misses at the one-strike pitch. So we played about an hour last night before the grounds crew. The timing was impeccable. It was just, it was incredible. They got it on, and the tarp that is, and the rain started immediately after that as this pitch misses to Jake. So each team will have a new pitcher here this afternoon. We'll finish this 9-inning game and then play a 7-inning game after this as the pitch misses inside, and Blackwood will draw a leadoff walk here in the fourth. So Tyler Ihrig is the new pitcher, replacing Diego Ibarra. Tyler Ihrig, a left-hander, 6 feet, 175 pounds, out of Monroe, Washington. The lefty now facing Anthony Gallis as the first pitch is in there for a strike. So it's Kansas City and Texas as the next pitch is fouled directly back. And we have a couple strikes now to Gallis. Gallis popped out to the shortstop Sanchez in the second inning as the crowd begins to file in here. And Gallis lifts this one up into the wind in left center. Peoples Walls comes in, has to track in farther than he normally would, but he makes the play for out number one. So one away here in the inning. And it brings up Starlin Rodriguez. So Diego Ibarra started for Texas last night. Mike Kickham for Kansas City. So each starter is done. Neither starter will factor into the decision. As we're now in the bottom of the fourth inning. One away, Starlin Rodriguez is up there. Jake Blackwood is at first. The next pitch is fouled back to the screen. So we're just underway here at Community America Ballpark. It's Military Appreciation Night. And an absolutely gorgeous day for baseball as this one is fouled back toward the Kansas City dugout. So if you have an opportunity this afternoon and tonight, come on out. Fireworks after Game 2 tonight. We'll have a very cool ceremony between games today. As the 1-2 pitch paints the black on the inside corner for a called strike. So Ihrig will get his first strikeout and 2 outs here in the fourth inning. And with that, Dalton Weed will be the batter. Weed in on the left side of the plate as the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Dalton Weed scored the first of the 2 runs for Kansas City last night. Singled with 2 outs in the second inning and came in on Vladimir Frias' home run to right. That turned this into a 3-2 game as this pitch misses outside. Kansas City with 3 hits last night. As the next pitch to Weed is swung on and missed. We've talked about this before, but there are certain times that Dalton Weed just looks great at the plate. There are other times that, especially against lefties, if they're going a little bit outside, he sometimes steps out and he will drive this one into left for a base hit. So Weed with his second hit of the game, and it brings up Vladimir Frias with runners at first and second, and 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Kansas City trailing it 3-2. Last night, the Air Hogs getting 3 runs in the second inning, largely due to 2 big errors in the inning from Vladimir Frias. That was in the top of the second. Then in the bottom of the inning, Vladdy with the big 2-run homer to left, his 6th of the season, as this pitch is in there for a strike. Vladdy this time in on the right side of the plate against the lefty Eyrig. The kick and the pitch is a little bit inside. Brian Child, the umpire behind the plate. Jordan Sandberg at first. Trent Delmont is your third base umpire. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning of this suspended game from last night. Kansas City runners at first and second with 2 outs. The kick and the pitch is a little bit upstairs. Tyler Eyrig making his 32nd appearance on the season. 1-3 with a 3.86 ERA. The lefty kicks and delivers and leaves this one way outside. Eyrig has appeared in 39 2/3 innings, given up 47 hits, 18 runs. 17 of those have been earned. He has a strikeout to walk ratio of 41-11. Here's the 3-1 to Frias. Lined up the middle for a base hit. They're going to bring Blackwood around. The throw toward the plate will be cut off by the first baseman Rodriguez, and Kansas City will tie it here in the bottom of the 4th. So Vladdy with his second hit of the night, and he now has all 3 RBIs for the T-Bones as Kansas City ties it 3-3 here in the bottom of the 4th. Brings up the catcher, Tyler Moore. So Blackwood was chugging around third the entire way. The throw from Michael Hurd just not a good one. He came charging in, but the throw was a worm burner as this one's lifted into right field. Aikens going toward the line will camp under and pull it down for out number 3. But not before Kansas City will tie it up as we
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services. an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark. Matt Folks here along with you. Nathan Moore, I mentioned this last night that Nate would be with you tonight. He will be with you in the second game tonight. He might make an appearance here in this conclusion of the first game, but he will be with you, Lord willing, in game 2 here tonight, as Kansas City has tied it up 3-3 as we go to the 5th inning. And I apologize for the pause at the end of that inning. There was a slight, we'll call it a technical issue, and I started to hear myself over the public address system, so I thought it best just to stop at that point and not. I'm embarrassing myself enough. I'm exposing you guys to enough. I didn't need to make ears bleed in the stadium as well. So for Kansas City in the bottom of the 4th inning, they came away with 1 run on 2 hits. They left 2 on, and it's now 3-3. 3 runs on 5 hits for Kansas City. 3 runs on 5 hits for Texas. As the new pitcher for Kansas City, replacing Mike Kickham, will be Johnny Shuttlesworth. So I guess you can officially close the book on Kickham, who went 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, 5 hits. And again, his defense didn't help him a whole lot with a couple errors. First pitch in there for a strike to Leon Byrd. It's Leon Byrd, Michael Herr, and Devin Rodriguez as this pitch is in there for a strike. Byrd reached a couple times last night, reached on a single in the first and on a fielder's choice in the second. He's 1 for 2. As this one just misses down low. Byrd fouls this one back and out of play. Shuttlesworth making his 30th appearance. Now, he did make 5 starts early in the year as he gets with someone in there for a called third strike. So the first strikeout for Shuttlesworth, first out here in the 5th inning, and brings up the center fielder Michael Herr. But remember, Shuttlesworth was a starter earlier in the year, and whether that makes a big difference or not in a game like this, who knows? Eyrig, the pitcher for Texas, as this pitch to Herr is in there for a called strike. Eyrig has appeared in 31 games and 39 2/3 innings before today, as this one misses inside. Shuttlesworth, 29 appearances, 55 innings. He started 5 games early in the year, has a 3-5 record with 1 save, 5.40 ERA. In those 55 innings, Shuttlesworth has given up 70 hits, 36 runs, 33 of those have been earned. Has 25 walks, 46 strikeouts, as this one's fouled back and out of play. Shuttlesworth has given up 5 home runs, 12 doubles, 3 triples. He has faced 259 hitters, and they're hitting .311 against him. So the right-hander Shuttlesworth wheels and deals a 2-2 pitch, and it's on the inside part of the plate for a called third strike. Shows Shuttlesworth with back-to-back backwards Ks to start off this 5th inning. And with nobody on and 2 outs, it brings up Devin Rodriguez. Kickham had 2 strikeouts in the first inning last night. ended his appearance with 4. It wasn't an overly clean inning for Kickham, or clean night for Kickham. As the first pitch to Devin Rodriguez misses. He gave up a couple singles in the first inning last night. Worked around those with those 2 strikeouts. Gave up a single to Bird, struck out Herr, gave up a single to Rodriguez, and then struck out the on-deck hitter, Brian Bistain. The second inning is what got Kickham last night, and it all started off with the error by the shortstop, Vladimir Frias. As the count's 3-0 now to Rodriguez. Nick Akins Sr. led the inning off and reached on that error on what should have been a pretty easy play, pretty routine play as this pitch misses. But it was a grounder to Frias that he made a bad throw to Blackwood. Allowed that leadoff hitter Akins to reach. Here's the first pitch to Bistain. It's in there for a strike. The next batter, Morales, singled. And Kickham did not help himself by walking Michael Miller, but he was able to get a strikeout to Peoples Wall before Sanchez singled. As this one's down the dirt. The Sanchez single brought in Nick Akins Sr., the one who reached on the air. But then the very next batter, Leon Bird, grounded into what looked like an inning-ending double play, but Frias made a bad throw to first that allowed Michael Miller to come in and score, as this one misses. So we're in the top of the 5th inning now, 3-3 your score. Kansas City has won 7 consecutive home games. They won only 1 of 4 as this pitch is way high and inside from Shuttlesworth. They won only 1 of the 4 games of Wichita, but they had a doubleheader on Tuesday. Ended up losing the first game, came back and won the nightcap. So that ended their 7-game winning streak, but all 7 of those wins came here at Community America Ballpark. Counts 3-1 to Bistain after Shuttlesworth was able to get back-to-back strikeouts starting off this inning. Walked Rodriguez on 4 pitches, and now we'll get a full count to Bistain as Bistain fouls this back to the screen. Brian Bistain 0 for 2 last night. Struck out ending the first inning and then grounded out in the third. Digs back in on the right side of the plate. Shuttlesworth, the right-hander, comes set. The kick and the payoff pitch is fouled straight back. So we started about 5 o'clock. The gates opened at 5 o'clock, so the crowd, I'm sure, will pick up on this military appreciation night as we'll play 9 here and then a 7-inning game approximately 20 to 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Bistain fouls another one back. Defensively for Kansas City, Starlin Rodriguez in the left, Tyler Massey in center, Dalton Wheaton right. Your infield from third to first, Mojica, Frias, Wiley, and Blackwood. Tyler Moore gives the signals. Shuttlesworth gets the one he wants. The 3-2 pitch, once again, it's fouled back to the screen. Shuttlesworth, the right-hander out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, comes set at the belt. Rodriguez takes off from first, and once again it's fouled back and out of play. So Bistain has fouled 3 pitches directly back. We'll see if Shuttlesworth will go to that A very good slider that he has. Gets the one he wants, comes set at the belt. The kick and the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Shuttlesworth will strike out the side here in the 5th inning. And Kansas City will come up in a 3-3 game as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
As we go to the bottom of the 5th, 3-3, we'll go back to the top of the lineup now with Massey, Mohican, Wiley. After rain last night, we're finishing that game that was suspended going into the bottom of the 4th inning. So Eyrig is the pitcher for Texas as the first pitch is in there for a strike to Massey. Last night, Massey went 0 for 2. They ground out and a fly out. And on the left side of the plate, fairly open stance as he fouls this one back and out of play. But after the rain, which was somewhat expected, you'd hope that they were saying throughout the day that the window was basically 8 to 11 when it would start. You had hoped, obviously, that it would be more around that 10 to 11 spot. As Massey pops this one up left side into foul territory. Now it drifts back right around the line, but it's going to be caught by Morales for out number 1. A very strong wind blowing in from left field here in this game. But we're starting to see more blue sky. As earlier today, it was pretty much cloudy, but it's just gorgeous temperature, about 80 degrees. As Jimmy Mojica will be the batter now, but the clouds have given way to the sunshine as this pitch is in there for a called strike. And really, temperature-wise, supposed to be great here the rest of this homestand as Mojica lines this one toward right, but it's going to be pretty much right at Nick Aiken Sr. who'll make the play for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for Kansas City here in the 5th in a 3-3 game, and it brings up the second baseman, Brett Wiley. Wiley singled in the first inning last night. They grounded out in the third, so he's 1 for 2 as he comes up here with 2 outs and nobody on in the 5th. Wiley batting .327, 5 home runs, 42 driven in. As the first pitch is right down the chute for a called strike. Tyler Eyrig replaced Diego Ibarra. The lefty Eyrig kicks and delivers, and this one's low and away. To pull a little Harry Carey on you real quick, this is something that I think Harry would appreciate. When you look at the 2 pitchers Texas has used, as this one's fouled back and out of play. Ibarra, last night's starter, this game's starter. His last name spelled Ibarra. Ihrig's last name spelled I-H-R-I-G. It is not often that we see two pitchers in the same game, let alone back-to-back pitchers with the first letter of I in their last name. There you go. My Harry Carey for the day. And incidentally, Kansas City doesn't even have a pitcher with the last name begins with an I, as this pitch misses low and away. Counts full to Brett Wiley with 2 outs, nobody on here in the 5th. Kansas City tied this game as we resume play. They tied it in the bottom of the 4th. We're at 3-3. As Wiley reaches out, gets a piece of it, but it's going to go into the seats, back behind home plate. And a couple, we'll just say a couple adult fans going after it. You usually see kids running after it. I'll just say a couple of adults. 3-2, the count to Wiley. Ihrig kicks and delivers. And this one's lifted, but it's going to find the seats behind the third base dugout. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wiley would be followed by Blackwood, who led off the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's a 3-2 pitch, line towards center, but Herb started to come in. Looked like he might have a play on it, but he backs up, and it falls in front of him for a 2-out single. So Wiley 2 for 3 with a couple 2-out singles here tonight. And it brings up the first baseman, Jake Blackwood. Blackwood 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first inning, but then walked in the 4th, came in and scored on the base hit by Vladimir Frias. That's what tied the game at 3-3. Wiley with a conservative lead over at first. The kick and the pitch is in there for a called strike. We have not seen Ihrig's move to first yet. Even though Kansas City had 3 base runners last inning. Ihrig comes set, gives a long look at Wiley. Now the kick and the pitch. It's fouled back and out of play. Wiley with 3 stolen bases in 3 attempts. So not exactly a stolen base threat, and he does not have a steal type of lead. The kick and the pitch is lined toward left. It's dropping and will be caught on a great sliding catch by Kenny Peoples-Walls. And that will end the inning here in the 5th. So the T-Bones get a 2-out single from Wiley, but he'll be stranded at first. We've played 5. We head to the 6th, tied at 3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Welcome back to Community America Ballpark as we go to the top half of the sixth inning. Matt Folks along with you for the rest of this game, and then the voice of your T-Bones, Nathan Moore, should be back with you for the second game here tonight. Kansas City and Texas tied at 3. T-Bones tying it up as we resume play here at Community America Ballpark here this afternoon. Nick Akins Sr. will lead things off against Johnny Shuttlesworth as the first pitch is swung on and missed. Shuttlesworth struck out the side in the 5th inning. Got Bird and Her caught and looking, gave up a walk to Rodriguez before battling with Bistain and getting Bistain on a pitch that was high and inside. 1-1 the count to Akins, a .220 hitter, 5 home runs, 13 driven in. Akins is the one who reached on that error in the 2nd inning on Vladimir Frias, leading off the inning. Akins eventually came in and scored. And on the right side of the plate, the 2-1 pitch. Paints the black on the inside corner for a called strike. After reaching on an error in the 2nd inning, Akins was caught looking, ending the 3rd against Mike Kickham. As this pitch misses way inside. And the count's full. So Akins 0 for 2. Shuttlesworth wheels and deals the payoff pitch. And it misses inside. So Shuttlesworth went basically to the same spot for 3 pitches, got a called strike. And then missed inside on the next 2. So the second walk given up by Johnny Shuttlesworth, and it brings up Corey Morales, the third baseman. Morales 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 2nd inning, grounded out in the 4th. As the first pitch curveball is in there for a strike. Morales on the season, batting .226. In on the right side of the plate as this pitch misses inside. Morales, 5'11", 170 out of Long Beach, California. Has his bat high above his head as this one misses down low. You hear a lot of Little League coaches talking about get your back elbow up as this one's grounded between Mojica and Frias. Frias gets it and makes an outstanding throw to second base to get the lead runner in Akins. A great play by Vladimir Frias. Will get Nick Akins on the 6-4 putout for out number 1. The ball just squirted by Mojica, the third baseman, and Vladdy going to his right was able to make a strong throw to Wiley at second to get the out. So 1 on and 1 out now for Michael Miller. Miller walked in the 2nd inning, came in to score on the air by Frias, which made it at that time a 3-3 game. Or excuse me, a 3-0 game. Kansas City ended up scoring 2 in the bottom of that inning on a home run by Frias. Added 1 in the 4th, and we're tied here at 3-3. Next pitch to Miller, curveball that's high, chopper to short. Frias to second for 1, over to first for an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. So the leadoff walk given up by Shuttlesworth does not cost Kansas City, as Shuttlesworth will end up facing the minimum here in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Kansas City 3, Texas 3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
We go to the bottom of the sixth. It'll be 5-6-7 for Kansas City. Gallus, Rodriguez, and Wheat. Matt Folks here with you on an absolutely gorgeous afternoon here at Community America Ballpark. This game is a conclusion of the game that rain suspended last night. And I've heard a couple comments while the Royals across the state line, they ended up waiting out their rain delay. They ended up playing. Why couldn't the T-Bones play? Why couldn't the T-Bones have waited it out? And the answer is actually pretty simple. For the most part, is the first pitch to Gallus is off the end of the bat toward first. It's backhanded by Rodriguez, bobbled, but he'll be able to flip it over to Ihrig covering first for the first out. So it's basically a two-part answer. The first part is, if you looked at the radar last night, the rain was not stopping anytime soon. It was going to be at least a 2 to 3 hour rain. Just a huge cell that was moving very slowly across the area. So the first part of that is you had a huge cell that was not going to go away anytime soon. As Starlin Rodriguez is the batter and takes the first pitch for a strike. But then the American Association does have a midnight curfew. The new innings do not start after midnight. So, even if the two teams had waited out the rain last night, so the rain delay started about 8:10. So if you figure, let's say it's 3 hours, or you can even say a 2 hour rain delay and then another 30 to 45 minutes at least to get the field ready. Because by the time we left, by the time they called it, we had gotten so much rain in such a short amount of time, the warning tracks were swamps as this pitch misses down low. So to get the field ready, it would have taken a minimum of 30 minutes, probably more like 45 to an hour. So you say roughly a 3 hour rain delay as Rodriguez fouls this one back to the screen. So then you're looking at not resuming until 11. Well, then if you can't start an inning after midnight and we were just heading into the bottom of the fourth, the chances of finishing that game in 1 hour were pretty slim. Here's the 2-2. It's way outside. The Royals, on the other hand, do not have a curfew anymore. If you look it up, Major League Baseball used to have one. They do not have it now. The Royals ended up in a 3 hour rain delay. Big swing and a miss, so Rodriguez will go down on strikes for out number 2. That's the second time Rodriguez has struck out here in this game. And both times have come against Ihrig. So 2 outs, nobody on here in the 6th. That brings up the right fielder, Dalton Wheat. Wheat 2 for 2, had a single last night and a single today. Takes the first pitch on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. The Royals ended up having a little more than a 3-hour rain delay. 3:03, I think, was the exact time of that. High chopper towards second. Bistain will field it, makes a quick throw, and just in time to get the speedy Wheat. And Kansas City, for the second time here in this game, will be retired in order. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. But the Royals ended up finishing at, 2:30 in the morning. So we will take the suspended game and finish it here today. As we go to the seventh inning, we're tied 3-3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Johnny Shuttlesworth back out there for Kansas City as we head into the seventh inning. 3-3 your score. It'll be 9-1-2. Kenny Peoples-Walls, Juan Sanchez, and Leon Bird. Shuttlesworth aided by a couple nice plays by Vladimir Frias last inning as the first pitch to Peoples-Walls is found backing out of play. Peoples-Walls, 1 for 2, struck out and singled. Fouls this one back to the screen, and it's 0-2. Kenny Peoples-Walls batting .361, which is somewhat deceiving as he swings and misses. He gets away from the catcher Moore, but Tyler will throw down to first to complete the strikeout. And the 2-3 putout. That's 4 strikeouts now for Shuttlesworth. And with 1 out here in the 7th, we'll flip the lineup and go back to the shortstop, Juan Sanchez. Sanchez, 1 for 3. This is his first at bat here in this second day of the game. It is Military Appreciation Night here as the next pitch is in there for a strike. Always a great time to come to the ballpark as this one's fouled back and over our heads. Here's the 1-2 to Sanchez. Slider that misses down low. Shuttlesworth with an outstanding slider. Gets the one he wants from Tyler Moore. The 2-2. Check swing foul off the bat of Sanchez. And on the right side of the plate, Shuttlesworth, the right-hander, kicks and delivers, and the slider barely misses. You can tell Shuttlesworth was asking home plate umpire Brian Child if that one was down. That's about the only way Child could have called that one a ball. As the 3-2 pitch is lifted into deep left, and the wind will hold this one up long enough for Rodriguez to camp under it at the warning track and pull it down for out number 2. The wind this season at Community America Ballpark has been very strange from what we've seen in past years. In past years, we've seen a lot of balls carry out over the mini monster. Some have been wind aided. And this wind today is basically blowing in from left toward right. So nobody on, 2 outs. Leon Bird, the batter. The 1-strike pitch, a chopper towards second. Wiley up with it over to first in plenty of time for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Johnny Shuttlesworth. It's stretch time here at Community America Ballpark. We're tied at 3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
We're tied at 3-3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Vladimir Frias, Tyler Moore, and Tyler Massey. 8-9-1 for Kansas City here against Tyler Eyrig. Kansas City scoring a run in the bottom of the 4th inning. The first half inning we played here in this suspended game, here in this second day of the suspended game. Jake Blackwood led off with a walk and eventually came in on a base hit by Frias. So Vladdy with all 3 RBIs as he had the 2-run home run in the 2nd inning that cut it to a 3-2 game. And his base hit that scored Blackwood from second tied it 3-3. The next pitch from Eyrig is fouled back to the screen. Vladdy hitting from the left side of the plate last night with his 2-run homer. Took it basically to the stairs out in right field. Today against Eyrig, he is on the right side as this off-speed pitch will be high and away. The Air Hogs coming into this series 28-55. As this pitch is in there for a strike. They are 24 games back in the South. And whether they want to admit it or not, it's been somewhat of a tough season as they have split time between Grand Prairie and Amarillo as Frias lifts this one into left field. Peoples Walls drifts in and camps under it for out number 1. But even their home games, wherever that home is, Grand Prairie or Amarillo, they've basically been living out of hotels. By the time the season is over, they will have been living out of hotels for essentially 100 games. Tyler Moore, the batter now, as the first pitch misses outside. The team finished its Grand Prairie part of the schedule last weekend, August 14th, against Joplin. As this off-speed pitch at 63 is in their first strike to Moore. So I guess with their home games, as Moore chops this one down to short. Sanchez up with it over to first for out number 2. So I suppose with their remaining home games in Amarillo, I guess we could maybe, technically you could call them the Amarillo Air Hogs, but they will still be the Texas Air Hogs as those two teams combined here this season. Massey fouls the first pitch down toward the GA seats. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Air Hogs. 3 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors for Kansas City. As this pitch misses down low to Massey, who's 0 for 3. A ground down and a couple flyouts. As this next pitch is down the dirt. The Air Hogs in the midst of a 6-game losing streak. As Massey grounds this one to first, it'll be fielded by Rodriguez, who will take it himself. And that'll do it for Kansas City. So for the second consecutive inning, Kansas City retired in order, and both pitchers have faced the minimum here in the last couple innings. We go to the 8th, tied at 3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
We head to the 8th inning. Johnny Shuttlesworth will be facing Michael Herr, Devin Rodriguez, Brian Bastain. Herr in on the right side of the plate as the first pitch from Shuttlesworth is down low. We'll start to get some action in the Air Hogs bullpen. So here's the thing is Eyrig gave up that run in the 4th inning. And this one's going to be blooped into right for a leadoff single for Michael Herr. But we talked about Eyrig being used as a reliever solely this season. His number of appearances basically the same as his number of innings pitched before today. Whereas Whereas in Shuttlesworth, you have somebody who has started, has been used as a long reliever. As the first pitch to Rodriguez paints the black on the outside corner for a called strike. Shuttlesworth has now faced 2 over the minimum. This is his 4th inning of work as he makes a quick snap throw to first, but diving back safely is Herr. Michael Herr, 3 of 7 in stolen base attempts. As this one's lined into right field for a base hit. So back-to-back hits to right field. And the first 2 are aboard here in the 8th inning. Let's see if Bill Sobey will go out and chat with Shuttlesworth.
Second baseman number 2, Brian Hussein.
As they'll make a quick call to the bullpen to get somebody up and loosening up. Runners at first and second, nobody out, 3-3. 7 hits in the game now for Texas. As the first pitch looked like it had Moore crossed up. Bounces off his glove. The pitch was high, and now Moore will go out and talk to Shuttlesworth. This is the first time that they have had a runner at second. So now they need to make sure they're on the same page. As Herr gets set to take his lead at second, Rodriguez at first. Evan DeLuca begins to warm up for Kansas City. We're at the top of the 8th inning. A scheduled 9-inning game. The game after this will be 7 innings. Shuttlesworth out of the stretch comes set. The 1-ball pitch, big swing and a miss. Bistain 0 for 3. He struck out a couple times and grounded out. One ball, 1 strike, nobody out. As the shadows begin to creep across the infield here, basically covering home and third. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Bunted toward third. Mojica will field it, and his only play will be to first, but he'll get Bistain for out number 1. Bistain almost laid that one down too sharply to third base. But it does the trick. And it brings up the right fielder, Nick Aiken Sr., with now 2 runners in scoring position for Texas. They have not had a runner in scoring position since the 2nd inning. The first pitch to Aikens is fouled back to the screen. Nick Aiken Sr. is 0 for 2. He scored the first run of the game back in the 2nd. And on the right side of the plate is Shuttlesworth. Gets the one he wants. The 1-strike pitch, it's low and inside. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Herr at third base, Rodriguez at second. They kick in the pitch. Off-speed pitch that misses low and inside. Shuttlesworth getting frustrated, certainly with himself and perhaps a little bit with home plate umpire Brian Child. As Maz takes a couple steps up toward the top of the dugout. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's way inside. So this likely the last batter for Shuttlesworth. unless he can battle back and get a strikeout or a big out here against Akins. But he is just all over the place here against Akins. Here's the 3-1. It's in the dirt. So a couple base hits, and now a walk here in the inning. That'll be the third walk given up by Shuttlesworth, and it brings up the third baseman, Corey Morales, and that's going to bring John Mazzarelli out. Shuttlesworth had cruised through his first 3 innings. He had faced one over the minimum and then gave up back-to-back base hits to Herr and Rodriguez. They were sacrificed over by Bistain. And now after a walk to Akins, that's going to do it for Johnny Shuttlesworth. So Evan DeLuca will be the next pitcher for Kansas City. And with this call to the bullpen, we'll take a 2-minute break here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network. 3-3 your score.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Evan DeLuca, the new pitcher for Kansas City, facing Corey Morales with the bases loaded and 1 out. Morales with a line drive to left. That'll score 1, and they will hold the next runner, Rodriguez, at third, but that will break the 3-3 tie. So the third base hit in the inning. The first two charged to Shuttlesworth. That run charged to Shuttlesworth. And it's now 4-3 here in the top of the 8th. Brings up the catcher, Michael Miller. Miller grounded into an inning-ending double play his last time up, as he takes this pitch from DeLuca for a strike. DeLuca, the 6'1", 210-pound left-hander out of White House Station, New Jersey, comes set at the belt. The kick and the pitch. Tapped foul at the plate. DeLuca has pitched in 34 games this season for Kansas City. He has a 3-3 record with a 3.32 ERA. 40 2/3 innings. He's given up 37 hits, 24 runs. 15 of those have been earned. The next pitch to Miller is grounded just past Frias into left field. That'll bring in another run. And they will hold up Akins at third. So it's now a 2-run lead for Texas, 5-3. Akins will be at third. Morales at second, and now Miller with the RBI singles at first. And the batter will be the number 9 hitter, Kenny Peoples-Walls. First pitch in the dirt, blocked by Moore. Peoples-Walls 1 for 3 tonight. Couple strikeouts and a single. And on the right side of the plate, DeLuca, the lefty, kicks and delivers. And it's grounded sharply. And foul ball, according to home plate umpire Brian Child, and that is a huge break for Kansas City. Because that was headed right for that corner, right next to the GA seats that we have seen so many balls over the years ricochet off that and cause the left fielder to slow down a little bit, change his direction, and that would have scored 2 runs for Texas. Instead, it will be a 1-1 count now. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Just a little bit upstairs. The T-Bones could really use a infield grounder here. Just to state the obvious for you. Here's a 2-1. Down low. So this inning is unraveling quickly here for the T-Bones. Trail at 5-3, bases loaded with 1 out. Peoples-Walls should get a pretty good pitch to hit. He doesn't. It's down low. It's ball 4. And it's now 6-3. And that'll bring out pitching coach Bill Sobey to talk with Evan DeLuca. So Shuttlesworth shows us just how quickly things can come apart, how fragile things can be for a pitcher. He had really been cruising for the most part. He did give up a couple walks, but he had faced just 1 over the minimum through his first 3 innings. Then he gave up a single leading off this inning to Michael Herr, a single to Devin Rodriguez. The only out this inning is a sacrifice bunt by Brian Bistain. There have been 4 hits and 2 walks here in the 8th inning as the 7th hitter of the inning gets sent to come up against DeLuca. We close the book down Shuttlesworth. He went 3 1/3. Gave up 2 hits, 3 runs. All 3 were earned. Walked 3, struck out 4 through 61 pitches. So Juan Sanchez, the batter now, as the first pitch is tapped foul at home plate. Again, we're in the top of the 8th inning. It's now 6-3 in favor of the Air Hogs. This is a conclusion of last night's game that was suspended in the middle of the 4th inning. Jake Blackwood playing on the grass over at first, the middle infield at double play depth. Mojica even with the bag. Here's the 1-strike pitch to Sanchez. High chopper to third. Mojica comes home with it. A high throw, but able to step, a bizarre play, as able to step on the plate was Moore, and he realized that Juan Sanchez was just standing there. Sanchez had not left the box. And so Moore, realizing that, just reaches out and tags Sanchez. And Kansas City will get that double play, ending the inning. It's that traditional 5-2 double play that ends the 8th inning. So Morales out 5-2 for the second out of the inning. And Sanchez is just tagged by Tyler Moore for the final out. You watch this game long enough, you see something new every day. Unfortunately, however, Texas was able to send 8 to the plate here in the 8th. They came away with 3 runs. They do it on 4 hits. There were no errors. And 3 left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Kansas City trailing at 6-3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 6-3 in favor of Texas, and they will make their second call of the bullpen of this game. They will take out Tyler Eyrig and bring in Tyler Harris. 6'2", 215-pound right-hander out of Houston. His first batter is Jimmy Mojica, and Mojica is ahead in the count 3-0. Texas with 3 runs here in the top of this inning. They lead it 6-3. As the next pitch to Mojica misses, so Mojica draws a 4-pitch walk leading off the 8th. Ihrig went 4 innings for Texas, gave up 3 hits, 1 run. Walked 1, struck out 2 through 60 pitches. So to bring up Brett Wiley now. Wiley with a couple hits. Both times, those hits came with 2 outs, and both times he was stranded at first. As the first pitch misses, so Harris has opened up this 8th inning with 5 consecutive balls. There's a strike, and it's 1-1 to Wiley. Harris making his 18th appearance. He's 2-2 with a 5.09 ERA. As Wiley smashes this one just over the head of third base coach Dave Schaub. Schaub, after, I was about to say nearly after having the hair swiped from his head, and Schaub doesn't have a whole lot of hair on top of his head. Thankfully, though, he is wearing a helmet. But he kind of pointed out to left field, said, hit it that way. Wiley acquiesces by taking this one to left field for a single here in the 8th. So Kansas City in business with 2 on and nobody out. So 2 on for Kansas City, and it brings up Jake Blackwood. And so now you have guys 1 up and 1 on deck who could tie this game with 1 swing of the bat, as Anthony Gallus awaits on deck. Blackwood, 13 home runs, 63 RBIs. Takes the first pitch way inside. Jake 0 for 2 in this game. He was the tying run, though, at 3-3 as we resume play in the 4th inning today. Harris with the 1-ball pitch. It's lined towards center, but there's Herr to make the play for out number 1. So the runners stay put, and with 1 out, it brings up the DH, Anthony Gallus. Gallus with a team leading 14 home runs. We have seen his average creep to a little above 200 as he goes for home run number 15 with that swing. 0-1. 6-3 in favor of Texas. Mojica, who led off this inning with a walk, gets his lead at second. Wiley at first. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Check foul by Gallus. Gallus looking for his first hit of this game. Popped down the second, fly down the 4th, grounded down the 6th. As the shadows get closer to the pitcher's mound. Here's the 2-strike pitch. It's high and inside, 90 on that fastball from Harris. Harris has appeared in 40 2/3 innings. As the 1-2 pitch is fouled back and over our heads. He's now given Up 48 hits, 27 runs, 23 of those been earned. He has walked 21 in those 40 and 2/3 innings and struck out 33. Off-speed pitch that paints the black on the outside corner. No argument from Gallus. And now they're 2 down in the inning. So the T-Bones get the first 2 on here in the 8th inning. And you felt very good about the next 2 coming up in Blackwood and Gallus, but a fly out to Blackwood, a strikeout to Gallus, and it brings up Rodriguez with 2 outs. T-Bones trailing at 6-3 here in the top of the 8th. As the first pitch way inside to Rodriguez. Starlin, a strikeout victim, his last 2 times up. Both of those here today. He grounded out last night. He's 0 for 3. Here's the 1-ball pitch. It's lined toward the corner in left field, but hooking foul. Off the mini monster. That would have brought in 2 for Kansas City. So Rodriguez just ahead of that one. It would have made it a 6-5 game. Wiley not being held on at first, so he's got a little bit bigger lead. Mojica gets his lead at second. Here's the 1-1. Lifted toward the right field side, and it's going to drop just beyond the tarp. Hits the top of the wall and scoots into the seats. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Air Hogs leading it 6-3. The 1-2 to Rodriguez is a little bit low. 90 on that fastball from Harris. So we've seen Harris high 80s to about 90. And on the right side of the plate, the next pitch off speed, tapped foul toward the Texas dugout. The second game will start approximately 20 to 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game. This game will be 9 innings. That game will be 7. Here's the 2-2. Fouled back and over our heads. I say over our heads. If I had the net, I would have had to have a long extension. But it hit the facing above our heads. Ricocheted back down to the front row. So the count remains 2-2. Here's the pitch from Harris. High chopper towards short. Sanchez up with it, throws to first in time to get Rodriguez by a whisker for out number 3. So Kansas City seemed to be in business, got the first 2 aboard against Tyler Harris here in the 8th inning, but a fly out to Blackwood, a big strikeout looking by Gallus, and a ground out to Rodriguez ends any hopes of Kansas City scoring here in the 8th. We head to the 9th, Kansas City trailing it 6-3. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Well, we head to the ninth with Kansas City trailing at 3-2. Matt Folks along with you at Community America Ballpark on a gorgeous day. It was cloudy much of the day, but temperatures absolutely perfect. It's been so hot here the last few days that walked out on the deck with my daughter this afternoon, and she said, "Oh no." I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "It feels like fall." The heat will be back. It's August in Kansas City as Leon Bird leads things off. The first pitch misses outside from Evan DeLuca. But it will be nice to get some temperatures in the low 80s forecasted throughout the rest of this homestand. Next pitch to Bird, popped up right side, but it's going to find its way to the seats. Crowd beginning to pick up as it is Military Appreciation Night. A special ceremony coming up in between games. Next pitch to Bird, grounded toward Frias. Vladdy with a nice Sunday hop goes to first for out number one. Texas with a 6-3 lead with all 6 of those runs coming in 2 innings. The second inning last night when they scored 3 and took a 3-0 lead, and then last inning, the 8th inning, which has given them this 6-3 lead. Chopper up the middle. Fielded by Frias, who makes a strong throw as he fades away from the infield. In time to get the runner Michael Herr for out number 2. It was interesting before the game today, earlier this afternoon, with 8-time Gold Glover Frank White giving basically an infield talk, infield lessons, if you will, to Kansas City's infield. Just going through some reminders for the guys, particularly the 2 veterans on the left side, and Mojica and Frias. As the first pitch from DeLuca misses somewhere to Rodriguez. Rodriguez 2 for 3. He scored one of those 3 runs last inning. And on the left side of the play is the next pitch from DeLucas, tapped foul at home plate. Six runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Air Hogs. They have stranded 8 so far today. 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, and 4 stranded. Check that, 6 stranded for Kansas City. The next pitch from Rodriguez is fouled back. A 1-2 count with 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the 9th. The next pitch from DeLuca. Off-speed pitch, line toward right. It's going to fall in front of Wheat for a base hit. So 3 hits here in the game for Devin Rodriguez. Only one of those hits has hurt Kansas City. We'll hope that holds true here in the next few minutes. Brings up the second baseman, Brian Bistain. Bistain 0 for 3. He had a sacrifice bunt last inning that put runners at second and third with then just one out. As the first pitch is in the dirt, gets away from Moore. Went off the glove of Moore and back toward the on-deck circle of Texas, so Rodriguez will move up to scoring position. One another count to Bistain. As the shadows begin to come close to overtaking the mound. Bistain grounds this one up the middle. Wiley fields it. Strong throw to first in time for out number 3. So indeed that 2-out single by Rodriguez does not hurt Kansas City. We go to the bottom of the ninth, though, with Kansas City trailing it by a score of 6-3. We'll get a pitching change for Texas. We're back in 2 minutes. With the bottom of the ninth, Air Hogs leading at 6-3. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
We go to the bottom of the ninth. Kansas City trails at 6-3. So they have 3 outs to get at least 3 runs. And they'll be doing it against Alan Oaks, a 6'3", 225-pound right-hander out of Southfield, Michigan. We have seen Oaks in this league for the last couple years, and he's probably the closest thing to a closer that Texas has had this year, as this pitch is in there for a strike to Dalton Wheat. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the T-Bones: Wheat, Frias, and Moore. The next pitch to Wheat is way inside. Oaks with 5 saves this year. He has 5 of the team's 11. As this one misses down low. Alan Oaks, 2-4 with those 5 saves, 4.50 ERA. He's appeared in 32 innings, given up 38 hits, 17 runs, 16 of those have been earned, as this one's in there for a strike. And it's 3-2 now to Wheat. He's walked 11, struck out 40. Here's the payoff pitch. It's down low. So just like Tyler Harris did last inning, Oaks comes in and walks the first batter he faces. This time we're in the ninth. T-Bones trailing at 6-3. 6 runs, 10 hits for the Airhogs, 3 and 7 for Kansas City. Vladimir Frias switches around to the left side of the plate. Watches the first pitch go right down the chute for a called strike. The kick and the next pitch to Frias is grounded sharply into right field. Wheat's going to round second. Hesitates, but now he will head toward third and stand up there. As the ball got away from the third baseman Morales, Frias thought about going to second, but he hangs at first with his third hit of the game. So runners at the corners now with nobody out. Frias with a big 2-run homer. A big 2-run homer in the second inning, an RBI single in the fourth, and now he gets his third hit, which puts runners at the corners for Kansas City. And we'll get our first chance here in Kansas City to see Nolan Johnson. Johnson signed earlier this week, right before the team left for Wichita. He is the backup catcher, basically. Batting .214 with 4 RBIs. In on the right side of the plate as the first pitch is in there for a called strike. So Johnson will hit for Tyler Moore. Johnson started the season at Sioux Falls. As Oaks throws over to first, Vladdy dives back safely. Frias is the type who would take off for second to give Kansas City 2 in scoring position. So Oaks wants to try to keep him close. As this one's lined to the second baseman, Bistain, who makes the play. A quick throw to first, but diving back safely is Frias. So Nolan Johnson got that one right on the screws, but Bistain was able to make the play for the first out. So we go back to the top of the lineup now with the center fielder Tyler Massey. Massey 0 for 4, looking for his first hit. And I can't think of a much better time than right now for it. As the first pitch misses low and away. Dalton Wheat at third base, Vladimir Frias at first. Frias with 14 stolen bases on the year. That's second on this club. As Massey fouls this one down the third base side. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning. Kansas City trailing at 6-3, but the T-Bones have runners at the corners with 1 out. Massey batting .280, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs. Next pitch is low and away. And I don't know if you can hear it, but the Kansas City dugout really getting into this. Here's the 2-1 to Massey. It's high and away. Jimmy Mojica waits on deck. So Massey should get a pretty good pitch to hit here from the big right-hander, Alan Oaks. Oaks comes set at the belt. The kick and the 3-1 pitch is lined toward the left field corner, and it will drop foul by inches. So it'll be 3-2 now to Massey, but boy, just inches from giving Kansas City at least one run. People's Walls got to it pretty quickly, but nonetheless, a long strike for Massey. Here's the payoff pitch. Frias is going. The pitch is in the dirt. So the second walk given up by Alan Oaks. And it loads the bases with one out for Jimmy Mojica. Dalton Wheat was walked leading off this inning. Frias singled, giving Kansas City runners at the corners. And then after Nolan Johnson, the pinch hitter, lined down to the second baseman, Brian Bistain. Tyler Massey draws a walk, loading the bases. As we get a quick trip to the mound from manager James Frisbee. He heads back to the dugout, and Jimmy Mojica gets sent to dig in on the right side of the plate. Wheat at third base, Frias at second, Massey at first. Texas leading at 6-3. The first pitch to Mojica, way inside, gets away from the catcher, but not far enough for Wheat to try anything from third. Mojica 0 for 3. He walked his last time up. Last inning, he led off with a walk, but was eventually stranded at second. Here's the pitch. On the inside part of the plate for a called strike. As the crowd continues to pick up, getting ready for the second game tonight. Here's the 1-1. Big swing and a miss as Mojica flailed at one outside the strike zone. So if Mojica could get on, you've got Brett Wiley on deck. Wiley's on deck either way. But it'd be nice to have Wiley with a chance to tie this thing up. Big swing and a miss. Mojica goes down on strikes. A monstrous strikeout for Alan Oaks. As it's now 2 outs, and it brings up Brett Wiley. Wiley, who had a 3-hit game on Thursday night, has 3 hits here in this game. He's 3 for 4. His lone out was a ground out ending the third inning. 6-3, Texas leading it. We're in the bottom of the ninth. First pitch is back up the middle, but it's fielded by Sanchez, who steps on second, just before Massey gets to the base. And Kansas City will lose the first game of this series by a final of 6-3. So your totals real quick, and I'll kind of tell you what's going to go on here. As the T-Bones lose this one by a final of 6-3, 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors, 9 left on for the Air Hogs. Kansas City with 3 runs today. They do it on 8 hits. The The T-Bones committing 2 errors. And will end the game with 9 left on base. So with this loss, Kansas City will lose its first game at home in its last 8. T-Bones dropped to 38 and 46 overall. The Airhogs improved to 29 and 55. We came into this saying that Kansas City needs to take 2 of 3 against a team like Texas. If you want to make any type of a push, back 6 games right now, if you want to make any type of a push, you really need to take 2 of 3 from a team like Texas. So Kansas City putting itself with its back against the wall, losing the first game of this series by a final of 6-3. Eyrig, who pitched today, he ends up with a win. Shuttlesworth, who started today as well for Kansas City, he gets the loss. And Oaks comes in and gets the save. The overall time of the game, 2 hours and 43 minutes. And the attendance was 4,225. So here's what we're going to do. We will take basically end this stream. So if you're listening on YouTube, we will essentially end this stream. And then we'll get set to start a new one in about 20 minutes when we get set for the start of Game 2. So Kansas City loses the first game of this series by a final of 6-3. Nathan Morris will be with you in Game 2. But either way, we'll be back with you in about 20 minutes or so. So about 7:10, you should be able to catch us here on the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Thanks for listening last night and today as Kansas City drops this game by a final of 6-3 from Community America Ballpark. This is Matt Folks saying be safe and take care, everyone. This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Funweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at tbonesbaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.